Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce for American Liberty Radio Network. How are you? Little message, little half-hour, little thing here that I want to give to you. Little something that I don't know, I like to put together every once in a while. Somebody on a Facebook post was sort of kind of arguing with me. Sort of, kind of. I'm just going to leave it at that. Sort of, kind of. So I want to address this situation. I want to address this situation and make it very, very clear that about assumptions, assertions, claims, accusations, whatever anybody has against, and I'm going to make this personal, anybody that has those things against me or uses those things against me or uses my words against me is pretty much off my list of considerations. In other words, if you think for 1 minute that whatever you say about me or about what it is I talk about or whatever it is you seem to think I should be or what you think I should take into consideration or whatever you think I should think about your opinion, let me just break all that down for you and say this. Whatever it is you say to me in a negative way, I'm just going to throw it right back at you. Because what I've been saying up to this point for quite some time is that I know what I know. And I know for a fact that there is no convincing anyone of anything. I know that. And I know I'm not going to be able to throw people down on the ground, metaphorically speaking, and put their arm behind their head and make them believe whatever it is I say. This is one of the reasons why I say, and I encourage people to go out and research the stuff I talk about. And people are going to use the argument that when I call them out on the carpet about it, they're going to say, you don't know what I do or do not research. Well, guess what? You're right. I don't. So I'm going to presume that number one, you don't do the research, and number two, you don't care. And I know the argument from other people that I have met and talked with over the years. Their argument is, well, that's my opinion, and I'm, basically, it's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. You can stick to all the opinions you want. But when you don't have the balls or the backbone to back up what you say, to put the information out on the metaphorical table of debate and give that information to me to show me why you disagree or why you feel the way you do, oh yeah, I'm going to assume a lot. I'm going to assume that you don't know a damn thing. That's what I'm going to assume. A smart person would sit down and discuss the issues with me and show me why and show me their side of what they see from their perspective. And a smart person would sit down and be able to do all this. Well, I'm not calling anybody else stupid, but if the shoe fits. I've said before, and I'll say it again, the top of my list of pet peeves is ignorance. I don't like ignorance. That's why I want to learn as much as I can every single day, something new every day. I want to learn something. And get this. I want to go back and look at the stuff I saw 40 years ago, 35 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 years ago. I want to go back and look at that stuff and see where I am today. And I want to see how things have changed. I want to see how these things have transformed from just things that I knew to the actual thing that is in front of me. And I'm okay with that. And I'm okay. I am okay with people sending me links and sending me information and all of that. So, like I said, there's no convincing anybody of anything. But I look at everything from government documents to UN documents to declassified documents to, I do a lot of homework, folks. I do a lot of homework. So anyone that tells me that anyone that says they would rather be closed-minded and narrow-minded and not look at this stuff and ignore it, for anyone that tells me that, just validates everything that I know about people who just absolutely do not care. Okay? I know this. For anybody that accuses me or asserts something or makes claims against me validates the very thing that I was saying. So, yeah. As the old adage goes, the ball is in your court. It is what it is. I'm not going to deny that. But I'm also not going to, let me rephrase this. I'm also going to accept the fact that I may have overlooked something, but it does not necessarily mean I'm wrong. And when a person says, or a group of people say, or, over the years I've heard this too, I choose not to look at it. When someone says that, or a group of people say that, it validates everything I've been saying for the past however many years I've had a broadcast, since I think it's 2010. Since I've been broadcasting. It validates the very thing that I was saying. Now let me reiterate what that was. Number one, people don't care. Number two, people don't do their research. And number three, people will only see what they want to see. Which then dovetails back into the number one slot. There's no convincing anyone of anything. There's no convincing anyone of anything. But every time someone accuses me of being a conspiracy theorist, anyone that asserts that I'm this or claims that I'm this or uses their perspective to make assertions or claims or statements that they choose not to look at certain things or they choose not to allow certain things to happen, perfectly validates everything that I've been saying. So every time someone opens their mouth to make statements, I just sit there and look at the points that they make and understand completely that they're just making my point for me. Okay? I mean, that's just the way it is. I don't know, folks. I really don't know. Let me change gears here. And I'll go to break for about, 2 minutes maybe. Let me look around. Yeah, for about 2 minutes. I'll take a little break. I got, just enjoy. Just sit back, relax. I'm going to come back and talk to you about something else, all right? All right? I'm not going to rant for the next 20 minutes. I'm just going to share with you some things that I know, that I see, and give you my opinion of it. That's all. That's all. I'll be back. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. The reality underneath the honesty. LiveTruthRadio.com. Check out Late Night in the Midlands with your host Michael Vera at LateNightInTheMidlands.com, Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Go to LateNightInTheMidlands.com. The world as we know it has been turned upside down. The leaders are faced with possible annihilation from their enemies. The United States is at the brink of a total collapse. This is the reality we live in. What can be done? The truth. The facts. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Hey, you folks, how you doing? Welcome back. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Are you good? Are you happening? Are you... By the way, it's the 29th of August, 2017. Forgot to tell you that in the beginning of the of the podcast. Couple of things I want to share. Want to make sure that you understand a few things, okay? Just a few things. Nothing big. Pardon. I'm going to say this, and I know this is a blanket statement, and I know not everybody is like this. But if you can't understand what's going on around you, don't bother interacting with me. Just don't. Okay, just don't. Epic video. Houston flood victims destroys out-of-touch CNN. Woman calls out CNN for virtue signaling during Texas disaster. Alex Jones breaks down a viral CNN interview with a distraught survivor of Hurricane Harvey that symbolizes the public's distrust of corporate press. More, real Americans come together to help Houston in a time of need. And Hurricane Harvey is far from over. That's going up on American Liberty Radio podcast. It's going up there. American Liberty Radio podcast on Facebook. The news media, let me just call them for what they truly are, the mainstream propaganda media, is out there to do one thing and one thing only. Deceive you. Send you off in another direction when you're, so that you cannot see the truth or the facts. And this is what we have to deal with. On my earlier podcast, I literally talked about a metaphor or an analogy of someone sitting in a room with a television, and yeah, they have windows out, and on their, they have windows, they can see out, they can go to the store, they can do that, but they don't interact, and all the information they ever wanted is coming from that television, and they don't want to hear anything else. This is why I say people have blinders on. They don't want to see anything else other than what they can directly engage with. They don't want to see anything else. They don't want to hear the truth and the facts. They got CNN. They got ABC, NBC, CBS, CNBC, MSNBC. They got all those. But they don't want to know the truth and the facts. And this excuse of, well, they got to have some truth or nobody will watch them. Yeah, that's called honeypot. That's called honey potting. Here, let me go do this. Let me open up a tab and go to freedictionary.com. And I will put this in here and see if it's here. I don't know if it's here. Your search for that was not found. Okay. Well, let me do this then. Let me go to news. Honey potting. Let's see. Let's see what that brings up. Okay. Here it is right here. I'll put this on American Liberty Radio Podcast as well. SOFREP. That's SOFREP. Avoiding the honeypot. Former CIA operator reveals how to avoid being manipulated. There you go. Honeypot. Noun, honeypot. A sting operation that involves one going undercover to seduce an individual into compromising position for future extortion purposes. Okay, and it says, members only content, blah, blah, blah. So let me go find something else. Let's go. Well, let me just tell you what I know in layman's terms. Let me just give it to you in layman's terms. They give you a little bit. Oh, here it is. That's what I was looking for. Urban Dictionary. But they give you a little bit. The news gives you a little bit, and it's a little truthful. It's a little, and then all of a sudden, once they suck you in, they screw with your mind. Honeypot. This is from UrbanDictionary.com. That's what I was looking for in the first place. In a world of espionage, it is the code word for a woman who is supposed to seduce a man in order to pump secrets from him, steal things from him, etc. That honeypot stole the comrade's military codes while he slept. That's the example they're using. So let me go and... well, you get the idea. It's deceptive practices. That's what honeypotting is. And that's what the mainstream propaganda media does all over the networks. They give you a little bit, a little taste, a little sweetness, a little something, and then they suck you in, and once they get you in, they pour on the bullcrap. They twist your mind so bad that you're going to say, but they told me the truth in the beginning, let's just not, You know what I mean. I have taken so many things that have been written, and what I'm thinking about right now, and I'll give you that, and that is when I was going to church and the pastors and other people in the church, the other congregates that I knew personally, when they would say things from the Bible and this and that, I would come back the following week or a couple of weeks later and tell them literally, here's this. And I would show them the history of that particular passage or that particular time frame in the Bible. I would show them the historic, from what I found, from what was out there at the time. I would show them the historical background of that particular part of the Bible. It would blow them away. Well, I'm still going to believe the Bible. Yeah, because you choose to believe the Bible. You're not going to... I laugh because this has happened too many times. This has happened way too many times for me to even count. And I would look at these people and I would say, you choose to read something that is false instead of looking at the facts and the background in which this exists. And they're like, yeah, it's my right to do so. So let me ask you all this. Is it your right to stay ignorant? Ignorant meaning ignoring the obvious. Is it your right to push aside all truth and facts for fantasy? Because pretty much that's what you're living in. Pretty much. There's nothing else. Because you choose to ignore the obvious. You choose to be ignorant. You choose not to look at this stuff. And you choose to continue to believe that Trump is the worst president on the face of the planet. Okay? I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. Nancy Pelosi says here, free speech killing hypocrite. Top Democrat focuses on shutting down Trump supporters. Nancy Pelosi, one of the richest members of Congress, is worth $26 million, according to Business Insider, and has amassed this sum by playing by the elite's playbook, hijacking the notion that she is a staunch fighter for the average American. Pelosi's hypocrisy has finally come to roost. This statement broke the camel's back. I'll let you see that yourself. I'm going to get going here in just a few minutes. And I'm going to... I'm going to ask you to interact with me by emailing me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Also want your interaction on what I'm saying here. You can go to Spreaker.com, look for @American Liberty Radio. Go look for that one. Or you can just go to American Liberty Radio Network on Facebook and interact with me there. Just a bunch of places. I want to hear from you. If you don't want to go that public, hey, send me a private message in my email at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. If you live in another country, and I'm going to say that I agree with some, not some, I agree with the vast amount of foreigners that have come here and went back home saying that America is a police state. I totally agree with you. Absolutely agree with you. And it's getting worse. And my question to you is this. If this country gets to the point where it's within the definition of what a civil war is, are you going to come and help defend peace, freedom, liberty, and security for this nation? for the people you agree with, for the people that you side with? Are you going to come to this country, since we have gone to your countries possibly, and well, for negative reasons, our military industrial complex and the elites over here want your resources, and that's how they steal it. They take out your government and then they set up a puppet government to give them what they want. And that's all on your back, and you've never stopped them. Or you tried with great effort, but it failed. So are you going to come here to the United States when we break out in the Civil War and defend those who want to live peacefully? Now, it's a big question for you listeners overseas, because, you know, it is important. And and most people, and I know this for a fact, most people are good-hearted and they want to see peace, freedom, liberty, and security for a lot of the people that wish to have that. So they side with those types of people. I understand that. I get that. It's completely, you know, understandable to me that there are people out there like that. Totally. There are other people that don't want folks to have peace, freedom, liberty, and security. These are the enemy of the people. And when I say enemy, I'm using that word very loosely until they prove otherwise. But are you going to come to this country and help us defend our freedoms? As we go there to try, well, again, I'm sure that maybe a quarter, almost a third of the military that's over there are fighting for good reasons. But I would say the vast majority of them aren't. They're paid to fight the wars of the elites and steal the resources. Look what's happening in Afghanistan. You got the U.S. Army, the U.S. military protecting the poppy fields because, hey, that's where the CIA gets their money. Because they deal drugs. You see what I'm saying? So, would you come here to protect us? And that's a very good question, because would I come over there and protect you? Oh, in a freaking heartbeat. I really think that it comes down to this. It really boils down to this. Okay? Really comes down to this. What do you want? Again, very simply put, you've got one side that says, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to know it's there. I choose not to see it. I choose to believe that Trump is the worst president on the face of the planet. And you have the other side, which says he's the greatest, president on the planet. Russia respects him. Saudi Arabia respects him. He's got, the backing of a lot of people, and he wants to make America great again. So you have those two factions of people. Who's going to win in this? Yeah, who do you think's going to win in this? Certainly not the naysayers and the punks that want to do this country in. These people are going to be put down like rabid dogs. By the way, they're working for the likes of George Soros and the Rothschilds and the Ford Foundation and all that. And guess what? Once their job is complete, they're done. They're done. They're going to be thrown out like yesterday's trash. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, folks. I'm going to get out of here. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. You can email me at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Talk to you guys later. This is American Liberty Radio Network, sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.